do it, dude. It's the Brian Moote Show. What's happening, everybody? I'm coming to you live from Atlanta. Patrick is behind the controls of the spaceship at Shady Center Studios.
Woo! This could get interesting.
I feel so bad for you because I'm just standing in my kitchen in Atlanta. No worries, no nothing. I've got stuff to talk about. I'm in a good mood, or at least I will be until the dogs start barking. And by the way, if any dog barks, we will have a promo code for you for BarkBox for, I believe, 10% off your first month. And Patrick, I can see on the webcam that he is just being drowned with buttons today.
I mean, there's so much technology in front of my face. I can't even figure out how to use our burner phone. And now I've got like $10,000 worth of equipment in my face.
$10,000? Yeah, more
terrified.
like 15, man. There's some high-tech radio equipment in there. I'm not even sure what some of this stuff is valued at. Just don't break it. How about that? Don't break it until I'm back in LA.
I feel like now that I know how much it's actually, I was like lowballing it just to kind of be like, it's no big deal. Now I know it's a big deal. And I'm freaking out, man.
Yeah, so be careful with that drink you have next to the console.
Oh, boy.
And speaking of the burner phone, 310-429-8903. I sent Patrick a text on his regular phone a little bit ago to ask him if we have any bad day stories for our bad day brackets we're slowly putting together. He's now looking for the burner phone, so clearly he didn't get that text to help prepare him for a segment later in the show. You got plenty of time. And we will someday figure out how the hell we get voicemails off of the Brian Moote Show burner phone.
Listen, I literally called on my regular phone to Verizon to activate this phone. She called and left a message, and it worked. It worked. And it took me like an hour. And then the next time someone called, it was like voicemail disabled. It's like, oh, Motorola. Hello, Moto. I'm going to, like, next time this phone falls asleep, it's going to wake up, and I'm going to be standing at the foot of its bed, and I'm going to be like, hello, Moto. Your turn.
Look. Isn't this just what we get by getting a gas station burner phone to make our studio burner, 310-429-8903? And we overcommitted per usual, as we do. We overcommitted and said we're going to put voicemails on the show, yet we had never even practiced getting the voicemails off of said phone.
You know, I also haven't figured out how to get it to log on to Wi-Fi, so we just burn through it in like 10 seconds. We burn through our data in like 10 seconds. I sent one.
Is that making noises now? Do you just have it chirping at you?
It's on now. Oh, it's on now.
All
Let's
right.
see how many voicemails we have. 0.
Hit up the burner phone, 310-429-8903. We got a fun show today. I said we overpromise and we deliver.
Yeah.
Not today. Today we're going to talk later in the show about the epic Send Pat Somewhere campaign, which you guys stepped up for huge. And we are currently in the third round of voting. We've got some hot and heavy matchups between towns like Deadwood, South Dakota, and Santa Claus, Indiana.
Sweet.
We'll get to that a little bit later. First, though, this is something I did not anticipate being a problem when being unemployed from a radio show. I'm around the house too much. I didn't see that coming. I just didn't. I've been in and out LA to Atlanta all year. I was getting into a groove. And then all of a sudden I'm unemployed and I'm not busy, and all the things that I could never do because I was too busy, like plant flowers, pressure wash the bricks 90 times, pressure wash the driveway, clean the house, deep clean the carpets, doing laundry, I have become like a stay-at-home dog dad right now, and I'm losing my damn mind.
You're like Liam Neeson when he tried to have a family. Like, you've got all these skills and you just want to use them. I dare someone to steal Leo. I dare them. They would have such a problem on their
my windows, staring at my street, just pacing back and forth, hoping someone starts some crap.
Come on,
so
somebody
I can get out there in the street.
Somebody do something. Come on.
I'm so bored in here. Like, this is how you know it's bad when I found myself today like daydreaming, or this was last night. I found myself already planning on what I was going to make for breakfast. What has become of my life?
I mean, yeah, I didn't even know you cooked.
I didn't know I cooked either, but now I have so much time on my hands. It feels like I'm accomplishing something when I cook bacon just so I can get bacon grease to like sprinkle in the dog's food so they like me a little better. And then today I made cauliflower breakfast pizza.
Oh my God.
And it was good. I was surprised. Well, I mean, bacon is good on anything, so.
Who are you? I used to
don't
think
know.
you were cool,
I need a
man.
job.
Oh
Help.
my God.
Help, I'm stuck at the house. Next thing you know, I'm going to learn how to crochet pillows and knit. And it's, I just feel, look, everything. I just stare outside, me and the dogs. I talk to the dogs now too much, like they're humans. I ask them questions. I get mad at them when they do dog stuff. That's dog stuff, like barking. And I just need to get back out there, man. You're right. I'm Liam Neeson. Somebody take something of mine so I can use my special set of skills, because I will find you. I will find you. I will track you down. I have skills that make a very big problem for people like you. That's not a bad Liam Neeson impression.
That's not bad. That's not bad. If someone else takes my flowers from my flower box.
I dare you to walk by my webcam a little bit too slowly. That's what I just stare at my security cameras now.
I really do love the idea of you sitting there staring out the window like the dogs, like barking at the mailman. Like, hey, man, hey, what are you doing?
Well, you're lingering a little bit long, buddy.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing?
Just a mailman. It's okay. It's cool.
All right, coming up next, we are going to talk about, we had a big stand-up comedy show in Woodstock, Georgia at Mad Life Comedy Studios, and we learned a lot of lessons about doing comedy when it revolves around cancer. It's Brian Moote Show, and Patrick is trying to start off the segment with a bunch of happy, excited, go-lucky music because he knows we're about to talk about some things that didn't go great this weekend.
I don't know what you're talking about. My life is... I am constant greatness. I am seeping with greatness. I'm just riddled with greatness.
Yeah, you sound confident right now. I can't imagine that you weren't just the epitome of confidence on stage this weekend. All right, so we had two shows at Mad Life Studio and Stages. Really cool venue in Woodstock, Georgia. Woodstock's about 45 minutes north of Atlanta. It's a cool little downtown, open container town.
Love that.
Which would be a great town for me to be unemployed in and just walk around the streets with a beer in a bag. Not even in a bag. It's open container. You can, wear a shirt that says I'm. And we had two shows. They have a recording studio. It's an awesome venue. We had shows at 7 and 9:30. And the cool thing is we were going to screen, or we did screen, we planned on screening Patrick's teaser for his cancer documentary, which is awesome. Pat, you want to tell people about the cancer documentary real quick, what we're doing with that?
Yeah, just a quick overview. We've decided to call it Pat versus Cancer. Right now what we have is a 5-minute teaser that we're going to use to try and raise the rest of the money for it. But the gist of it basically is like there's a problem going on with the rise in colon cancer in young people, and it's not really being dealt with appropriately. At the same time, we're going to kind of look at how the systems that exist affect people who are going through cancer treatment or any sort of long-term treatment in general. And we're finding all kinds of fun stuff. Brian, my colonoscopy cost $67,000. I don't think everything in my life together combined cost $67,000.
All the things in your life don't even add up to the amount of money that it is for all the radio equipment you referenced earlier in the show today.
Yeah. I mean, and the idea that putting a tiny camera, like to scope around my colon would cost $67,000. Like maybe if it was a really nice colon. But it's well documented that my colon was not nice. No! Give me a break.
Like Nicki Minaj's ass. 67 grand maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn that around.
You could have stuck a garden hoe up there with a camera and I would have been fine.
Yes, it would have been fine.
I'm not sure.
Going to do more damage than's already been done up there? Come on.
My favorite part of the documentary, I mean, I have a lot of favorites, but you referenced the $67,000 bill that you got and you asked your doctor who performed your colorectal rectomy?
It would be a colectomy, Brian.
Colectomy.
Partial colectomy.
Partial colectomy. You showed your doctor that, and you're like, is this normal? And you look at the $67,000 bill, and he looks at you and he goes, depends on how you define normal.
Yeah, just the biggest smirk on his face, too, because he's like, yeah, no, this is insane. I don't know. I don't know why this is marked at $67,000, which is funny because then I went on this like big crusade of like, I'm going to find out why this cost $67,000. This is not okay. And every time people were like, well, did you pay $67,000? And I was like, well, no, of course not. That's crazy.
No, I mean,
paid like 500.
Sure
They're like, then why do you care? It's like, because it's crazy. It's just
because this has
crazy.
to do something. The trickle down effects have to do something. You can't just have this be $67,000 when it just doesn't seem like a 3 hour from the moment you check in to the moment you leave would cost this much money, unless all of a sudden you promise like, well, look, if we find cancer, we're going to take it out for you at $67,000.
Boom, done.
Which is not the case.
Cool.
So we screened the teaser for the documentary, which was pretty awesome because we got to see, we had a test group, a captive test group to see exactly what parts were funny and what parts need to be made a little more clear. Mm-hmm. We had people laugh, we had people cry. I think all the goals we had for a 5-minute teaser for a documentary, I think we nailed for the most part.
It was a classic comedy ambush. People did not know what they were getting into, and we gotcha. It's like going into a coffee shop during an open mic and being like, what is happening? Is there jokes happening? Oh, boy.
So, Pat, and here's the thing that we learned, I think, and I'll tell you what I think, and then, Pat, you can tell me your experience.
Oh, boy.
What I learned is that it's very difficult for someone to just rattle off 15 minutes of cancer jokes back to back without telling the story and without creating the connection and without bringing people on kind of almost a hero story, just ripping off pow, pow, cancer, chemo, cancer, cancer, chemo, cancer is like a little bit tough for the crowd to take.
It's a little much. And I didn't. It was an interesting experience because, like, I got out there and I came out to a hot crowd. Like, people were crushing it, and we were, like, full. And I walked out, and all I had to say was, like, I'm Pat Moote, and everybody's like, yeah.
You did it.
You are Pat Moote. That's awesome. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to crush this. And then I started talking about cancer, and everyone was like, ooh. It's like, I felt like my joke was driving fast on the freeway and everyone was my passenger. And I was just wobbling in and out of traffic like, isn't this funny? And they're like, no.
Seatbelts? Who needs seatbelts?
Yeah, we're only laughing because we're so awkward. So they just, and honestly, like, afterwards, in between shows, I ran into a lady who was complaining to the valet about how she didn't come out to hear cancer jokes. And I talked to her and I was like, hey, like, I get it. And she was like, well, just, it doesn't seem that funny. And I was like, no, I was there. It didn't seem that.
No, I didn't do well.
It didn't seem that funny.
Hold on. That's annoying to find out that a lady was complaining about cancer jokes because I came out and gave the context for the background of this show and why this show means something. And here's the thing. I'm never going to stray away from being transparent in the moment about why a show matters a little more than it did last time. Because the last time I played Mad Life, you were supposed to be on the show and you couldn't make the trip because you'd had your colon removed and you were about to start chemotherapy.
Yeah. And
I said that up front at the show. No one got ambushed. That lady's an idiot.
No. And here's the deal. I mean, I got where and listen, here's where it was a learning experience. And honestly, like, she was like, I just didn't come out to, I got to see comedy. I don't want to, like, my mom's a 3-time cancer survivor. So when I see comedy, I don't want to think about that. I want to just laugh and like, but then the idea that comedians aren't just up there challenging you all the time anyways is false. It's a false narrative.
Your favorite thing to say, narrative.
It's a false narrative. That's what comedians do. So, but what I did hear from her and what I heard from the audience too was like, there's a way, the comedy is there. That's how you get through tough situations like that a lot of times. It's the greatest self-defense mechanism. It's anytime something is heavy or hard, you laugh to kind of like make it be okay, and then you move forward with the conversation. So, and the experience. So there is something there. It is just like you said, we have to take the audience on the whole trip. We can't.
Well, that's where we blew it. What we should have done is what I kind of wanted to do anyway, but you had been workshopping jokes. And it would be hard for any comedian to do that as a set, but your jokes come from a story arc that we didn't do, or that you didn't do.
I did not do.
I think it would have helped with me on stage with you talking about every step of the way. And that's where you're right. The story of this, even if you're a survivor, because a lot of people came up and they were crying. We're like, thank you very much. Like, cancer sucks and it's hard. And it was great to, like, be part of this process. We're so proud of you. And in terms of the ambush, I said, look, Pat wasn't here last year because we didn't know he was going to make it. He's back this year, so that's a triumphant celebration. If you didn't like the jokes, Well, he's newer to comedy, and he didn't really deliver him all the way.
I'm working
you probably
on it.
should have done a story type situation where you can build tension,
right,
and then release the tension.
I mean,
Complaining to the valet, like I'd love to go on see some negative reviews on Yelp and just go blister people for like, oh, what, real comedy's too much for you?
It's too much.
Then go watch a Seinfeld special. If you want to hear someone talk about nothing, go watch a Seinfeld special.
Yeah, I love Seinfeld. But it's, it's a different thing. Like, I get it, and I got what she was saying. Like, I heard what she was saying, and I appreciate her for being honest because, I knew, like, no one knew more than me that it wasn't working.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Pat, because in the second show, I gave you the green light to do a way shorter set, and you went way longer than you did in the first show. So really, Pat, did you feel like it wasn't going as well as that lady did?
I learned a lot.
The Brian Moote Show. We will see. Pat, you learn a lot because we will have another show at City Winery in Atlanta in November. We are also looking to set up shows in Nashville, Charleston, South Carolina, Fort Wayne, Indiana,
DC,
DC, some other cities that Pat's looking into, Seattle at some point. So we will see. And Woodstock, Georgia, you were all there. Complainer to valet, you were there for the maiden voyage, which, let's be honest, okay, we found some holes in the boat, and we had buckets, and we were dumping that water out, and eventually we'll patch them.
There was a big cancer-sized hole in the boat, and it was not. People didn't like my Survivor stuff. I don't look like a survivor because of how surprised people were when I survived cancer.
I don't think they understood that people are always just surprised you survive anything because of how much of a mess your life is. I think sometimes you over-explain the premise, and sometimes you really under-explain what the hell you were doing.
There is no premise. We got a setup and a punchline. That's it.
Two-man act, Pat. That's how we're going to do this from here on out. You and I, and then you can tell your stories and your jokes, and if one falls flat, I can explain to the audience why it's funny, or we can just laugh at the fact it wasn't funny.
Oh, I love that. That's actually the best idea for my jokes ever, is that I have like a translator. Like, here's what he meant to say. Before he scrambled it all up and sounded
I'm like
he
a
was saying
human
nothing.
sign language translator for only you.
Yeah.
Like, I speak Pat. This is what he meant to say, guys. I'll say this, though, Pat. If I hear one more crowd laugh at your I'm a semicolon now joke, which they did, both shows, which was unbelievably enraging, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind because that joke is corny.
That's a good joke.
That's who the crowd was.
It's a solid joke. I mean, I didn't even get to my stuff about being danger ass.
Oh no!
Come on.
No, that just crossed the line. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, if I got a colonoscopy bag, that's okay because I look great in fanny packs.
Nope, not allowed. Not allowed to do that either.
That's really bad.
Danger ass?
That actually hurt. That hurt me to say. Like, doctor, never mind. I can't even. They're so bad. I gotta stop.
Yes, you do. All right, I am pulling up our bracket for Send Pat Somewhere. We're gonna give you guys updates real quick on where we're at with this epic segment that we will be doing numerous times. We are in the third round right now, and I'm going to give you the quick rundown on who is going against each other right now. We have got Dune City, Oregon, which, as it says, is full of dunes out in Oregon, and you can ride four-wheelers. There's a bunch of casinos where Patrick will be able to keep refining his well-earned hobby of gambling.
You know what, Brian? I'm Dune for that. Get it?
You're danger ass to this segment, what you are. Dune City, Oregon is up against Walla Walla, Washington. No idea what happens in Walla Walla, except Pat told me they grow a lot of onions.
Sweet onions, baby. That's all they got.
Sweet onions on the Columbia River. Then we've got a Pennsylvania powerhouse matchup of Intercourse, Pennsylvania versus Scranton, Pennsylvania. No idea what in the hell goes on in Intercourse. I'm guessing not a lot of what the city is named after just because there's no one there. It's in the middle of nowhere. And we got Scranton, Pennsylvania, home of Dunder Mifflin. We will find out if the office is in fact a real place.
I think it is. I think Dunder Mifflin's a real place. And let me tell you, Brian, I've never been there, but I have a feeling I'm going to love Intercourse.
You're such a moron today. I know you have like 15 lines you've already written down that you're gonna jam into this segment.
Oh yeah.
We'll try to recognize them.
I've been working out some material.
Our next battle is an epic battle of Deadwood, South Dakota, which is where Deadwood, the show, is based on. It's a mining town, Wild West. There was no law there for a while. Deadwood, South Dakota versus Santa Claus, Indiana. And I'm guessing Santa Claus is really into Christmas.
Man, if they're not, I'm going to be really disappointed because I feel like a place called Santa Claus that's not into Christmas is kind of like a self-loathing, angry place, which I can
Well, it'd be like Intercourse, Pennsylvania, not into sex.
I mean, I could fit in there.
I mean, you're into it. You're just not.
I'm into it. It's just I'm not. That's I'm not practicing.
Really
I'm not a practicing sexual.
You need other people to live in intercourse with you. You can't just go there by yourself.
I mean, yeah. If you go to intercourse alone, isn't that? Well, spend the weekend in
solo course?
Yeah, masturbate, Pennsylvania.
Wow, Pat, we could be more subtle with that.
Sorry.
Solo course means like insinuating it's like the Mile High Club solo mission. Okay, gotcha. And our final battle, Ding Dong, Texas.
Yes.
Versus versus Area 51, Nevada. That's going to be a strong matchup right there. Area 51, Nevada. It's where, it's supposed to be aliens and, alien ships and ship fragments at a government compound.
Yeah.
And Ding Dong, Texas. Got no idea what the hell is going on in Ding Dong.
Listen, this is a tough one for me because I really want to go to Area 51. Like, I really want to go there. I've always wanted to go there, but I love Ding Dong. So.
You did it again.
I want Ding Dong. I want Ding Dong. That's what I want out of this round is I want Ding Dong.
You got 15 more seconds. Get all your Ding Dong statements in.
I want to go to Ding Dong High and find out what their mascot is.
I'm guessing the dongs.
Yeah, flying cucumber, something like that. Some sort of.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep going. You still got a little time left.
Oh man, I don't know if I have any. It's tough when your options are Ding Dong and Intercourse. Like, what do you go with? I just like them.
I mean, it could shape up to be Ding Dong versus Intercourse, which I feel like if that happens, we need to raise money to send you to both places because that's a powerhouse matchup.
It really is. I went to Intercourse, Pennsylvania, and all I got was this Ding Dong shirt.
Really bringing it over there, man. Do the buttons make you stressed out? Is it hard for you to land jokes with the buttons?
I'm sweaty. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sweaty. Not as sweaty as I was at Mad Life Stages, but I am very sweaty.
No, really? Because that's pretty sweaty. You were pretty sweaty at Mad Life Stages.
I was so sweaty that I had to mention how sweaty I was multiple times.
Well, listen, that's not all your fault, too. It's Atlanta humidity. You sweat in places you didn't even know existed on your body. So go to Facebook right now. Vote for round 3. Let's see who our final 4 is. I'm predicting Ding Dong, Deadwood, Intercourse, and Dunes. That sounds like the creepiest law office you've ever been to in your life.
Deadwood, Ding Dong.
Ding Dong, Deadwood, Intercourse, and Dunes.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
What's up, y'all? It's the Brian Moote Show. Felt like I had to say what's up, y'all, like that because of the, Salt and Pepper Push It.
Yeah, you nailed it. No, it's very... I thought it was part of the song, to be honest. I was like, oh, we got the lyrics? Oh, weird.
What's up, y'all? We have Pat Moote in today, as always, running every technical component on the show today. I am currently in Atlanta. Who knows how long I'll be here? I found out that it's very difficult to convince my girlfriend that I need to be in Los Angeles when I technically don't need to be in Los Angeles.
Yep.
So if anyone can find reasons for me to be in Los Angeles, that would be phenomenal. Maybe you have some brick that you need pressure washed. That'd be great. I'm getting very good at pressure washing driveways.
Pressure washing is very therapeutic.
I mean, I like it. I was spraying stuff everywhere. I was doing tricks. And then also when you're done, you feel like you look back and you're like, that's cleaner than when I started. That looks beautiful.
Agreed. I agree. 100%.
What did I hit you? Did I finish that sentence in the middle of you slugging some beer?
Maybe.
All right. And I want to talk about this Andrew Luck story. So Andrew Luck, Colts quarterback, he's played for 6 seasons. And he came out of college and was pretty much like, the guy. He was basically,
I mean, he's the
next
reason
Peyton Manning. They got rid of Peyton Manning.
They moved on from Peyton Manning because they had Andrew Luck, and he was that good. Like, it looked like the right decision.
He's had a litany of injuries in his first 6 years. He's been hit 371 times. He's either been hit or sacked, and that's 55 more times than the next person in that span. So in the 6 years he was in the NFL, he got hit more than any other player. That is unbelievable.
That's a lot.
And his hits were pretty. I mean, it's not about getting like he didn't see a lot of those coming.
Well, and he's a big dude too, who like kind of made a living like standing in the pocket, like standing in there and like holding up, and like he could take hits because he's big, but also so were they. They were huge.
So the injuries that he had in the first 6 years were torn cartilage in 2 ribs, lacerated kidneys, torn abdomen. He was peeing blood for almost an entire offseason because of the kidney laceration.
Nice. That's cool.
Torn labrum in his throwing shoulder, which is really going to prevent you from throwing the football. And now he's got some weird ankle calf injury. The Indianapolis Colts knew he was going to retire last week. And in fact, they worked out a deal so he could keep $24 million of the money. And they could have gone and gotten that back. If you retire and they're supposed to pay you money that's not guaranteed, or even that is guaranteed, they can say, well, you didn't play, so we can come get that money. They did not recoup that money. They said he could have the $24 million, which isn't something a business usually does.
Nope.
Unless the business feels bad, like they might have screwed the guy. They might have screwed the guy over.
Yeah, he had a really like epically bad offensive line for a lot of those years, and they really didn't do a good job of protecting him for a long time.
Well, and the other thing too about it is that he was seeing the Colts team doctors. So that's what happens in the NFL. You can go get your own doctors, but the Colts team doctors are the ones doing most of the screening and the treatments. And there is a kind of a low-lying theory that they screwed up a bunch of times, and they're going to dodge a malpractice suit for this guy's career having to end by Andrew Luck just retiring and being a nice guy about it and just keeping the $24 million and saying, like, look, I'm in so much pain. Football's not fun for me anymore. I'm not living the way and the life I want to live. And the reactions have been interesting. A lot of people have said, look, football, we now know, is a brutal sport of grown men damn near killing themselves. And Andrew Luck has been nothing but a good sport, like great teammate, never complained. He's all about football. And he's the only one who knows if it's time to just quit playing.
I mean, I don't... The thing where people are like, oh yeah, like back in our day, the league was so much tougher, and now all these like, because I heard the like whole millennial argument, like classic millennial move that they're just gonna quit, when things get hard and blah blah. It's like, listen, I don't really like. I quit sandals because I stubbed my toe. Like that was a whole like I just stopped wearing them entirely. I'm done with them. But it wasn't, I don't think this is like a millennial thing or anything. Like he's getting crushed. It might be more millennial to accept the fact that you need a break and accept the fact, but
Well, look, we always think that our generation had it rougher, right? Like, oh, I'll walk 30 miles uphill both ways in the snow. That's a thing that we say because it's kind of it's a real. We have this tendency to romanticize things from the past. I know when I've gone and watched high school football games, I've thought to myself, man, these guys are tiny. I would have, my day, they were huge. Like, these dudes were so little, I'd murder these guys. Well, yeah, because now I'm a grown-ass man in my 30s. When I was 16, I was a 16-year-old looking at other 16-year-olds who were big to me. Now I'm bigger. Yeah, that's crazy. If I went back to Little League now, I'd probably hit 67 home runs in a 12-game season. But I'm a grown man looking at Little League games. It's... you can't compare them apples to apples there.
No. And I mean, honestly, like I remember your football career in high school, and it was brutal to watch. It was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. And then you pretty much retired. You were like, you know what? I'm going to play basketball. This is less dangerous.
I retired from football after high school, and I was honest with myself in college. I got asked to play football in college because I went to a small school. University of Laverne in Southern California. And the coaches were like, yo, you can play tight end, you can play quarterback, you can play defensive end. We know you're good at football. We want you to play for our team. And I remember just saying, I don't want to, man. Like, it hurts. It hurts so bad. And imagine that's against high school kids who weren't even good, by the way. They were just high school kids.
Yeah. No.
Who played football 3 months a year. Now we're talking about grown men who play football for college or for a living. No thanks. I'm out on that. I don't want to be limping around every day. And this dude has a life to live.
I mean, didn't you like get hit so hard once you ran to the wrong sideline and then like stayed there and we're just hanging out?
Stood on the wrong sideline without a helmet on. So someone came and got me. I was so confused. I mean, I was knocked out, but on my feet still. And here's the interesting thing that I've seen a bunch of backlash over. The Doug Gottlieb, who works at Fox Sports 1, said retiring because rehabbing is too hard is the most millennial thing ever. I mean, that's ridiculous. Rehabbing, it's not that it's too hard. Sometimes you can't fix it, you idiot. Like, you can't fix what it is. Your body is so injured, it will never be the same. It's not that rehabbing is too difficult. Rehabbing is irrelevant. We don't know what's wrong with his ankle and his leg. The doctors may just say, surgery will never be the same. It's going to tear again at some point. We can't do anything about it. So then it's not rehabbing is too hard. It's that, I played football too long and I got murdered and now I can't be a normal grown-up the rest of my life. And I'm about to have my first kid for Andrew Luck's specific circumstance. You're about to have a baby.
Yeah, it just, for anybody really to like, and this is going to be a really millennial thing for me to say, but for anybody to judge anybody else's decision is completely out of line because we're all allowed to do whatever we want, whenever we want to. So there.
That is the most millennial thing. You know what? Andrew Luck deserves a trophy just as much as everyone else in the NFL deserves a trophy.
Yep, he's MVP because he's the most valuable person. But everyone else is too, so everyone gets one, and everyone wins, and everyone loses.
Before we get out of the segment, though, I wanted to say, like, when did quitting something or retiring for something or doing something that maybe other people don't agree with, when did that become like a non-manly thing to do? When did it become like a cowardice to a lot of people to quit something that's dangerous for your life because you want to be around your kids? Because I got to be honest. Doug Gottlieb saying it's what a millennial. All right. Okay. So what if Andrew Luck does decide to play and ends up with complete paralysis on the right side of his body because he had a neck problem, like a nerve issue. And now, is it manly now that he can't feed himself on one side of his body and he's trying to live the rest of his life? We have zero compassion for those guys who break their neck and play with injury. Look at Kevin Durant. Everyone's like, he's a hero. Kevin Durant blew out his Achilles tendon because his ACL was busted and he came back too early. And now he's going to be rehabbing again. He's never going to be the same player again. What, because he was afraid you guys were going to troll him on the internet? Okay, Doug Gottlieb, I guess. Look at that. Is Kevin Durant your guy then? He's so tough. He doesn't care about what medicine says and goes out there and plays anyway. I
mean, honestly, if the idea of quitting makes you a man, I'm probably the manliest guy around. Because I will quit anything. I don't care.
I think you start stuff just to quit it sometimes.
Oh, yeah. What? That looks tough. Let me give it a shot. Nope, no, I'm good. Let's move on. That stinks.
I mean, didn't you say on stage that your life is so sad you tried to quit cancer, but cancer quit you?
Yeah, that's right.
It's the Brian Moote Show. What just a roller coaster of emotions today. We talked about Patrick bombing on stage. We talked about what else? Well, I don't know. That's about all I remember talking about today.
We talked about sending me somewhere.
Oh yeah, we're gonna send Pat somewhere. Please go vote, by the way.
Hey, we talked about
to go vote.
Ding dong and intercourse. Yeah.
You got any more statements you want to make sure that we can pull for imaging?
Ding dong and intercourse. More like sex.
You're an idiot. I wrote this down because you mentioned sweating earlier.
I'm all sweaty right now.
I mean, today in the city of Atlanta, it is 81 degrees with 94% humidity, which basically means it's just you're walking into like just a mist, a light, disgusting mist, and it's a gross mist. It feels damp. You want to fight weather. You walk out down. What the hell? Why?
Yeah.
Why is it?
Why is this like this? I like. For me though, there is something comforting in being like I'm in LA where it's perfect all the time, and I'm always wearing like jackets and thick shirts, like button-ups and stuff like that, like flannels, because I'm so sweaty all the time. So I'm like trying to constantly hide how sweaty I am. And then you get to a place like Atlanta, and like everybody's that sweaty. And you're like, yeah, my people. All right, look at how sweaty you guys are. I'm sweaty too.
We can all sweat together.
Come
This is
here.
great.
Let's give each other a weird hug and shake hands and then wipe our hands on our pants because they're all sweaty from touching hands. I love it. It's my people.
I mean, I try to work out every day in the garage because I have a punching bag in the garage. And I will sweat for the next 2 hours after I work out every single time. Or just walking down the hill that we live on with the dogs. I come back up just dripping sweat. And I hate sweating. I hate it. And I sweat so much. And when it gets in my eyes and you can see it dripping off your hands and your arm. It just grosses me out. I don't understand how people don't sweat. And I wish I wasn't so sweaty.
I'm starting to develop a little bit of a problem with people cranking the AC too much when it's really hot out. Like, I get it. It's hot out, so you want the inside of the house to be cool. But when you're really, really sweaty, you walk inside and get blasted with cold air, and you are freezing immediately. It is like...
I love it.
Oh, I hate it. It's the worst. I'm just like, ooh, like, oh my God, I'm so cold. Can we?
My girlfriend has started setting the AC in the bedroom at 62 degrees at night.
That's insane. That's so cold.
It's like it feels like we're camping. Like, you know when you go camping and every time you put your face above the blankets, it freezes and it's just cold as you have to sleep with your head under the blankets. That's how she wants the room to be. It's insane. I can't imagine what our power bill is going to look like after this last month in Atlanta where it's been just insanity. It's been just an insane amount of hot, but it's going to be going to be astronomical.
I could venture some guesses. Really expensive.
All right, if you don't mind Mother Nature's armpit, this humid stink hole of Atlanta where you walk into just a waft of nasty, warm, damp air. What weather is your least favorite weather?
Least favorite weather. I think if I had to kind of like choose a type of weather that does not suit me, that really like gets to me, it's got to be like cold wind, like a really strong cold wind where you can't actually like hide like any piece of you that sticks out. It's like cold. And what I don't like about that, because also I guess rain would fall in there too. I don't like any weather where you have to spend like 5 minutes getting ready just to get there and then spend 5 minutes getting unready and like, I don't know. I don't really do that. I just want to be comfortable always.
Yeah, I feel like the preparation stuff is kind of annoying when you go to the mountains and everyone's got you got to go get your socks off or whatever they were drying on. They smell weird. You got to put 2 sets of long underwear on, then snow pants and all that, just to go outside for a half hour and then come back in and strip all that stuff down. It's all wet and soggy and gross. I agree with you. That's awful.
It is. It's just too much work, you know? It's like I don't really want to... Like, you know, there have been times where it's like I'm back on Woodby, where we grew up, and like my mom will be like, hey, take the dogs outside, and I'll like throw on some boots and have my basketball shorts on and a t-shirt and walk outside and be like, good Lord, like this is not okay. I need to actually like prepare to take the dogs outside. Like your day is so much, you waste so much time during the day in those places just getting prepared and unprepared for in and out of the house. It's ridiculous.
Funny. All right, speaking of prepared, we got to go. Pat's got to prepare for an open mic. He's got to get back up on the horse.
I'm doing it.
I've got shows in Atlanta this week on Wednesday night and Thursday night at the Laughing Skull Comedy Lounge in downtown Atlanta. And go, everyone, vote. There's another day left for round 3 of Send Pat Somewhere, and I really want it to be Ding Dong versus Intercourse so Pat can have 1,000 awful jokes.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive number 1, number 2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.